From childhood, we're taught to fear and loathe them. Just think back. There's the big bad wolf of the fairy stories, the werewolf in the horror flicks, even Wolverine from X-Men. Evil, dangerous, bloodthirsty beasts. So how could anyone possibly make friends with a pack of wolves? Good question. And there's only one bloke with the answer. Shaun Ellis is from that rare breed of researchers, part genius, part crazy. He spent 20 years studying them in the wild, eating, sleeping, living with wolves, trying to learn their language, finding out what makes them so frightening. It really is hair-raising stuff. No wonder they call him the Wolfman. This is for real. It's not some circus stunt. Shaun Ellis actually lives, eats and sleeps with the wolves. It's an extraordinary experiment. Most scientists stand back and watch, but Shaun's in there, teeth and all, learning how to communicate with these wild animals.
Everybody's going to think some guy that lives in here with these guys for 18 months, shares their world, shares their food, is going to be crazy. And maybe they're right. Maybe you do have to have an element of craziness in you to do this.
Shaun's experiment is taking place in the most unlikely location, an animal park in the sleepy west of England.
He's pretty heavy.
Oh yeah.
I've arrived right on dinner time. Best not to come empty-handed.
Look at them. They're getting excited, aren't they?
Understand, yeah, it's good.
Dinner time, Mr. Wolf.
Oh yeah. Okay, if you want to go through first.
But first, Shaun wants to introduce me to the pack.
Lead the way, Squire.
It's good. I'm just going to come have a look at you now.
He tells me I'll be okay. The trick is to stay calm no matter what. Yeah,
Okay,
right.
What you're doing now is just testing your strength. Back on it. That's good. Well done. Excellent.
The term big bad wolf comes to mind.
Yeah, these are not big and not bad. All he wants to know is where you're going to be. Are you a threat to his position? How strong are you? All the information you're now giving him will tell him that everything's okay.
Around the world, conflict with humans has decimated wolf numbers. But Shaun believes his research can help save them by understanding and using their natural behaviour.
What I wanted to do was find out about their language from inside their pack. Teach the wolves all they need to know to be in contact with us, to stay away from farms and ranches and boundaries.
Almost as a tribal elder.
Yeah, a tribal elder, a wolf tribal elder. Good point.
Are you going to eat any of this?
I might have a tuck in, actually. Let's see how we go.
You're a better man than I am. All right, let's stick it on the dinner table.
Okay, mate.
Shaun believes to really understand the wolves, he has to do what they do, even eat what they eat.
Well, I'll let you have a good feed. Bon appetit. Is the wolf really in danger of extinction?
Some are. Some wolves are very, very threatened, some subspecies of wolf. People fear the wolf, they fear what it does, they fear what it can do. And because of that, they can very quickly plummet in numbers through culls or through shooting, and fear-based shooting at that.
This conflict between wolf and man breaks out everywhere they live side by side, like at America's famous Yellowstone National Park. Shaun studied the packs reintroduced here 10 years ago, after being wiped out by shooters. He's watched as the wolves have invaded nearby property, angering the local ranchers, who now want to resume culling.
We can't be completely pro-wolf and completely pro-farming. We have to be somewhere between the two and try to get the two to understand each other through an experience and acceptance of each other's world.
3 years ago, Shaun's worldwide search for an answer brought him to this little corner of England. And by chance, he found just what he needed. 3 young wolf pups rejected by their mother.
The more I'm trying to get it apart, he's clamping down more and more.
Shaun sets out to raise them from scratch,
It's a little wolfy love bite.
following the behaviour of a wild pack as closely as possible.
To anybody watching, that might seem very, very cruel, biting a young wolf on the ear to make him squeal. But the squeal is very, very important to his development because he's giving you a sound that means you've hurt him.
He moves in with them, becoming their teacher, their den mother, day and night, and in all weather. Even hiding morsels in his mouth for the pups, just like adult wolves in the wild.
We've come to know and love his family, and to me, they are brothers, sisters, father, mother.
There's constant wrestling as Shaun establishes the social hierarchy of wolves, crucial for survival as a pack. It's dangerous work. As the pups' strength grows and they vie for dominance, there are fierce confrontations. He's frequently bitten and covered with wounds.
You got to the stage where you no longer bother. You go and get stitched up, come back, the wolves take the stitches out, clean the wound, and it heals in a fraction of the time. So this was only...
The wolves take the stitches out?
Yeah, they have an ability to heal you. Just keep constantly cleaning until the wound is so clean that it heals in a fraction of the time.
As you'd expect, he's had problems with worms, but amazingly, Shaun's as healthy as he's ever been. I bet you've had some ticks and fleas.
Yeah, ticks, fleas, worms, everything that dogs have had at one stage or another I've had.
Wolf worms.
Wolf worms, it's great. But the irony of it is you get very little with these guys. Colds, flus, upset stomachs, ironically now seems a thing of the past, and you're never more healthier than you are in here with these guys.
But Shaun's obsession with the pups did take a great toll on his own family life. Finally, his wife left him, taking their 4 kids.
What's that then?
It's lovely. Imagine it's a sandpiper.
But then he found his soulmate. Here we go.
Oh, lovely.
Great, thank you.
So we're going to wolf that down. Helen Jeffs, a childcare worker living here in Coombe Martin.
So you like his wolfy smell?
Yes.
Be careful how you answer.
Yeah. No, it never really. It's just when I met Shaun, that's what he was. He's always been the Wolfman. It's his, you know.
Well, some of your friends actually asked the same question.
Oh
didn't
yeah,
they, as well?
yeah. It was quite a standing
question,
joke
really.
of like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you know, does he not smell? And how could you want to kiss him after he's been with the wolves and things like that? But it never really bothered me at all.
Still, with Shaun spending most of his hours in the wolf enclosure, meetings were rare.
And obviously she couldn't see me at that point because obviously I was raising the pups. So we used to communicate to each other by howling across the valley. So I'd howl with the wolves and she'd answer me.
And then
so
I'd howl back.
It's the only contact we
Yeah,
had.
seriously, it was very romantic.
How do you howl to say I'll see you down the pub in the afternoon?
I perfected that one, that's good, yeah.
Can you teach me that?
Yeah.
Well done, you. Okay, sit yourself down.
But won't they jump on my head?
That should be fine.
Being in love with a man so consumed by wolves, Helen soon came to love them too. Now she's part of the team.
So just give them a greeting. Good, well done.
And she knows, better than most, that even young pups like these pose real dangers. The ferocious power of the wolf's jaws is twice that of a German Shepherd.
I find it very, very frightening. I worry so much for him when he's in there. There's been some nasty occasions, and for me, being Shaun's partner, definitely the bites onto the back of the head and the neck are the worst.
He's had concussion from
Yeah.
the wolves
Oh, yeah.
compressing the back of his head.
Absolutely.
Since the experiment began, Shaun's position in the pack has changed. He started out as top dog, but as the wolves grew, he allowed Jana, the alpha male, to take over. Shaun's now looked on as the peacemaker, often stepping in when fights break out.
I still can't help but feel it's a bit like swimming with sharks.
There's always that unpredictability, isn't there? Yeah. But it makes no sense to them to hurt or injure or kill something that's going to help to protect them. And it would be rude for them to do anything to you without asking me.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
the two boys, are very much strength orientated, trying to push against you.
Yeah, he is.
And this is a good key at the moment, because if you're on a food with him, you've only got about 8 inches in which to feed on. So if you push back against him, show him that you're strong enough to hold your own, then he takes more respect from that. Yeah.
I guess that's what they mean by body language.
That sounds good.
That sounds good, yeah.
But these guys have other ways of expressing themselves too.
Smell that.
Oh, phew. Thanks very much.
That's okay. And he's not the biggest, or not the more dominant of the pack members. It almost makes your eyes water, takes your breath away.
So that wolf pee is a present for me, is it?
That's a present for you. That's to say to you, I've now found out about you and what you're all about. Now this is me. And you're expected now to identify him through that scent.
But the wolves' most powerful way of communicating is their distinctive howl. When they were tiny, Shaun taught the pups how to do it. Shaun's now convinced he can use recorded howls to keep wolves away from farmland. In the wolf world, this is a territorial warning. When they hear it, Shaun's wolves become restless. In the wild, they would flee. Shaun now has a secret weapon to control marauding wolves. At last, an answer for the farmers and ranchers from Europe to Yellowstone.
So by broadcasting that sound out into the hills, it keeps all the other wolves away.
Yeah, basically we say to them that this particular area, farm, a ranch or town or a city, is already occupied by a pack of wolves.
Shaun Ellis is a dreamer whose years of studying wolves have taken him closer to their world than any man before.
Do you ever wish you'd been born a wolf?
It's tempting sometimes when you spend long periods of time with them. I think where I am at the moment between both worlds is where I needed to be, interpreting the wolf world to the humans and the human world to the wolf.
But now he wants to go further, to live with them in their remote mountains and rangelands, to answer the call of the wild.
Out there, running with the wolves in the wild, that's got to be my ultimate goal.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinfort. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our Extra Minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au, as well as the 9Now app.